If I had known I could have died in that hole, would I have panicked? Maybe. I literally didn't think I could die.
Westfield native Ashley Piccirilli saying she escaped death after being buried alive at a Northampton construction site.
Can you walk me through that day of the accident? What do you remember happening?
It was a gorgeous day. We had just eaten lunch. I was down in the trench, no supports, no shoring. I had no idea, it was just another day.
But it wasn't just another day for Ashley, who was only about a week on her new construction job.
There was a gentleman in an excavator from up top that noticed the wall collapsing, and he yelled out, "Watch out."
Little did Ashley know that in that moment, her life was about to change. One of the trench's sidewalls came crashing in, trapping Ashley under thousands of pounds of dirt.
At first, it only really felt like, when a friend comes and meets you and gives you that bear hug and it's kind of uncomfortable and you don't really like it. And that's really all it felt like.
And even though her world was quite literally caving in, the Air Force vet's first thought wasn't panic.
They know where I am, they're coming to get me. So I stayed calm through the whole thing. I took very, very small breaths. I couldn't take that big breath because there was no room for my lungs to expand because that dirt just packed in.
In a situation where every second, every moment matters, her fellow crewmates and first responders didn't give up on the young Westfield native.
They fought, hard to get me out. They knew more than I did what situation I was in.
It took crews about 30 minutes to finally free Ashley, but the rescue mission was nowhere near over.
Little did I know that I broke all the ribs on my right side. One, I think on my left, my lung collapsed, internal bleeding.
Ashley was rushed to Bay State Medical Center about 20 minutes away, where she found a team of doctors waiting for her.
I don't remember much of the travel there. I don't remember arriving there, but I do remember being wheeled right into the OR. I remember seeing some weird fuzzy things, a few people running around, and I remember who I now know is Dr. Kramer saying, "No, we're going to take care of you, you're going to be all right."
She was bleeding to death when she arrived. It was very clear when she arrived that she needed to go straight to the operating room.
Her prognosis was grim.
She was bleeding so much that when we found the place she was bleeding from, you could actually hear it. It's called audible bleeding, and that's when we started calling for extra help.
Ashley's trauma surgeon, Dr. Christina Kramer, still has vivid memories from that initial surgery.
She coded, her heart stopped. Then we were able to restart it very quickly.
And her road to recovery wasn't easy. Ashley was taken back into surgery the next day and spent the next 30 days under Bay State's care.
It's rare that everything goes as smoothly as it did.
But it did, and Ashley's fighter spirit was partly to thank.
Her spirit is so strong. She was so, as soon as we extubated her, there was always a smile on her face. She was always so grateful for the care she had received.
When you think about what are you most afraid of? And some people even say, drowning or being buried alive. And when you're in the situation, it's completely different. It's almost like your body, I was in shock, but you fight or flight, you're gonna fight. And honestly, it didn't even feel like that to me. And that's, I think, why it's so easy for me to talk about it, was because it was so calm.
But Ashley had a lot to fight for.
My main focus was getting back to flight school. I wanted to prove people wrong that, I could do it still. Even though I went through this, I can still get myself there.
But it was also family that kept Ashley strong in some of her toughest moments.
My nieces and nephews, I have a gazillion of them. They were my motivating factor as well. I remember missing birthdays while I was in the hospital, and they actually postponed my nephew's birthday to when I came back, and I was like, this is what I'm here for. Yeah, I want to go to flight school. Yeah, I want to do all this, but family is a very strong, deep, thing in driving me.
Today, the sky's the limit for Ashley, literally.
I went to flight school almost a year later. I think it was a year and a month later from the accident.
After more than a year of training, Ashley is now flying high as a pilot at Barnes Air National Guard Base.
Ashley says she doesn't think about that day very often. Instead, it's remembering the people who saved her life that get her through those tough moments.
If it doesn't strengthen your faith, in whatever you believe in, I don't know what can, and taking every day as it is and not getting angry at little things. And I don't have road rage as much anymore, for real, little things change,
Reporting for Western Mass News, I'm Maria Wilson.